When I went to Chicago, I saw it for my own eyes. I saw nice neighborhood, hell. Nice neighborhood, you could die in a minute. Despair, affluence. Living high on a hog, being gunned down by hogs. It happens everywhere across this country. And we always have these people who don't know anything about these areas, watching TV going, everybody's just this and everybody just needs to work harder. You leave people with nothing. You push them to the prison industrial complex. You strip them of being access to food stamps, housing, any support systems. And then you say, have at it. But don't break the law. You can't vote. You can't get a food stamp. You can't get a place to stay. Nothing. Why? Because you had some weed one time. And the cops prey on you too. It's like a cheetah hunting gazelles. They prey because they got to make the bills, and locking up people is how they make the bills. 3 Chicago officers charged with conspiracy in the Laquan McDonald case. When I read that title, first thing I was thinking, only 3? I want the whole police force indicted. I want the whole police force charged. And look, and see, I'm not like some people. Like I learned, we want it from the top to the bottom. I want the top. I want the top. I want the mayor. I want the chief. They already threw the chief under the bus. They got a new chief now. I'm tired of people just wanting the officer who did it. I want him too, don't get me wrong. But don't just want the officer, want the whole tree. If we learn nothing from my Michael A. Wood conversation, I hope we learned we need everything. We need a whole new system. We get rid of the apples, but get rid of the tree, get rid of the grove, get rid of the fertilizer, uproot the whole thing. Let's put in some artificial turf. Once again, 3 officers were charged today with conspiracy, official misconduct, and obstruction of justice in connection with the investigation that followed the death of Laquan McDonald, the teenager fatally shot by a police officer 3 years ago. And you see how I stumbled over that a little bit? I stumbled over that a little bit because they made sure I told you that the team was black and that the officer was white. Because we got to get that in there. And maybe that had something to do with it or not. I don't care. Look, I don't care if that's why it happened. It's what happened. I don't care what color the teenager was. I want all teenagers who get shot who aren't armed. I want all of their killers to be brought to justice. But I'm just telling you why I stumbled over the word, because I get tired of them doing that. Just give justice. You don't got to pull at my emotional heartstrings. I'm not your voodoo doll. Just give me justice, man. The 3 officers are charged with conspiring in the hours and days after the shooting to conceal the true facts to protect Jason Van Dyke, the officer who fired not once, not twice, not 5 times, not 10 times, 16 times at McDonald. 16. We're talking about somebody who didn't have a gun. Officer Van Dyke, who was charged with murder in the shooting, was the only one to fire a weapon. That night, Mr. McDonald died along a southwest side street in 2014. But other officers, including the 3 now charged with crimes, backed up Officer Van Dyke and his account of what happened that night. The dashboard video, however, contradicted their accounts, showing Mr. McDonald, who was clutching a knife, seeming to veer away from the police when Officer Van Dyke began firing. The shooting continued as Mr. McDonald lay crumpled on the ground. Yeah, he was in the fetal position on the ground dying, and they kept shooting him. It was an execution. The 3 officers who were accused not only of lying about what happened during the shooting, but also of coordinating their activities, preparing, reviewing, and approving false police reports. They also conspired. The special prosecutor alleges to fail to find witnesses and to preserve evidence in an effort to help Officer Van Dyke. What happened in Chicago with Laquan McDonald? Think of all the stories you don't hear about. You think these officers, this is their first time giving clouding evidence? You think this is the first time they stuck up for a colleague? That's what you think. You think you need to go here. You need to know what? You need to go ahead and tour with Jimmy Dore. Go ahead up to Burbank, California. Sit in with Jimmy for a couple of sets. I'm serious. You are funny. When was the last time you got caught doing something the first time you did it? Who gets caught doing something the first time they do it? May these officers be punished for what they've done. May we also be smart enough to realize this ain't the first time. And for us to have the ability, the courage to start pushing for police reform overall. Because there's just so many of these stories I can do with a straight face as if we're going to actually accomplish anything. If we don't fight within and outside the system to put pressure on these municipalities, these police unions, to adopt a new method of policing. If we don't do that, we're going to get nowhere. So I don't care if you're racist, you better do your damn job. How about that? I don't know. I don't care about your warm and fuzzies. You don't have to like me. You just have to treat me legally. You have to treat me, you have to allow me my constitutional rights is all you have to do. You ain't got to like me. We ain't got to play dominoes together. We ain't got to play kicky sack, nacky sack, whatever that is. We kick the ball and all that. We don't got to do nappy sack. We don't have to do that. I know what? I don't even want to do that. I can't do it. That's why I don't want to do it. You know, you're not good at something. But I'm saying, we ain't got to hang out. You ain't got to come over my house, meet the kids, throw the ball back and forth. None of that's necessary.
His name is Jermaine, and he was watching my every move, and you could tell that he wanted to find out a little more about what we do. And at that time, I just decided that I was going to inject a little bit of positivity on such a beautiful day, and it's just going to be two guys throwing the pigskin around.
And Sergeant, I understand you have a 5-year-old. Do you think that kind of helped out in terms of you actually pulling over? Some people may think they want to, but to do that is pretty amazing.
What I need you to do is respect me as a human being, not abuse your power, and be held responsible and be accountable for what you do. And also have juries that would actually convict people of what they do, and also legislatively change the laws. So much that needs to be done. So much. But I'll take these officers never working again as police officers ever again. That'd be great. That'd be great. Probably won't happen. They probably just go somewhere else and work. But it's a start.